What's up, folks? Hey, I'm trash picking. I was driving down the road one day and up the street from here, and I seen this sitting out by the garbage, and I thought, what the hell? I mean, I got one of those little cordless vacuum cleaners, which works great on most rugs, but my one living room rug, it really kind of sucks. No pun intended. So I got this thing, and I thought I'd fire it up, and I took it in the house. I thought I'd bring you guys along, see if we can figure out what the hell's wrong with it. Well, number one, that's a pretty good sign right there. That might have been your problem, lady. But it also looks like it's pretty packed down inside there. So let's see if I can. Ugh. I just had a pair of needle nose. And I could blow that out with the air hose. And then we got this mess right here. Gross. But it looks pretty clean down in there. Let's turn it on and see if it's sucking anything. Turn them beaters off. Yeah, it really just don't have much suction. But you see stuff spinning around in there. So, where does that go? It goes to here. Yeah, you can't see inside that tube. That tube goes straight down into here, up into here is, does that come out of there? Let's see here. Let's put you on the tripod and not knock you off. Okay, that does press. But does it come off? That extends up. But at what point does it suck into this canister here? Let's take this sucker off. Oh, canister's empty, so we know there's no issue there. We got that there. Let's see. Well, that, I mean, other than being god-awful loud, well, we definitely got suction there. Does something... I'm still mystified about this hose in the back. I guess that's for an attachment. It must come off somehow. Oh, there we go. See? Okay, so does this thing have suction? I'm sure we gotta have things attached. Okay, so we're on that. We've got the beater bar turned off. It really just does not have much suction. And I'm guessing That's the problem. So how does this go back on here? That goes down in there like that. Uh-oh. Okay. So I didn't see any other obstruction. Let's double check that again. That doesn't come out. That would go... I need like a wire. I don't have one. Well, I've got one somewhere. But don't ask me where. I got a coat hanger somewhere. Let me... That doesn't look bad. This thing here. Let me bring the air hose over. We'll shoot some air inside that hole. Air compressor's filling up. Interesting. They blow into here. I wonder if there's a plug up in there, something's plugged up in there, because I feel no air. Yeah, I feel no air blowing out of any orifice. Like that fancy word there, orifice. Yeah, I don't know, man. Do these balls come off? We'll find out. Yes, they do. Oh, I found the problem. Want the money shot? Look at that hose right there. What's left of it. Dude. I wonder how much that hose costs. Well, there you go. A, how much does the hose cost? And B, how would you get it out of there? Does this come right off here? Yep, and there's arrows to line it back up. Yeah, I don't know what hose that is, but is it worth fixing? I don't know. Let me look up the part and I'll be back. All right, guys, it's the next day. I have the part here. This is the factory Dyson part. It's like 18 bucks, okay. Now I gotta figure out how to take this thing apart to get to that piece right there. So it looks like this thing has to come off. There are only two type bolts here. One's a T8, which is the one down on the inside where that hose is, and then a T15, which are these bolts. I don't know if those four need to come out. I don't know. Let's take this one here out. Let me get my little magnetic cup, since I found it. There's one. And there's two. And that is not budging. So let's take these two out. I don't know. I mean, you might not have to take that out. I need to try recording with this mic 3 and the fan on. Okay, that's off. All right, so I know this is going to have to kick down somehow. Let's see here. Because is there something on the other side? Because this other side that I looked at yesterday, it doesn't look like it comes off. But does this give us any more room? No. Dilemmas. Now that moves. And it kicks, when you move the wheel, it kicks that open. So, does that come out? Oh, okay, there's two. Right there where my finger is. Those are two T8s. Let me put you right there. That might be better. And that thing is spring loaded. Does it just pivot onto that thing? I'm not taking that spring off there, that's for sure. I'll never see that again. Is that loose? How does that come off there? And then maybe there's I think there is a screw. No? There's this one here. That's tiny. Yeah, tiny. So remember that little tiny one goes right there. There's something on the other side. There is. can, right there where my finger is, there's another one. So we'll put that one back in first, once we get this back together. Am I not hitting it? There is, you know what? Let me get a pair of curved needle nose. There's a washer down in there. Let me get that washer out. Ooh, tiny little sucker. See that? And that's how it goes down. So let's take that and put it on the screw so we don't forget it and lose it. Okay, now can we get this spring mechanism out of here? Looks like it should just lift right up out of here. What am I attached to? Okay, that goes down all the way to the other side. And there is part of that. It looks like there is this piece right here. I'm gonna leave that attached right there. It's a keeper. Of sorts. Hey man, I am no vacuum repair guy. So that goes. I want to see how that went down like that. Like that. Okay, so that piece is out. All right, so that's what that looks like. You seeing that? So if we take this out, and here is the part number. I will put a link to the part in the description. Dyson's not a sponsor. I think we've gone over this before. Nobody's a sponsor. Okay, so there is another screw right there. That's got to come out, and then that will go over this piece. And that is a tiny one. T8. Okay, got that. Okay, so that can come out. And it doesn't look, yeah, so the top, this is on the top. This goes right back in. And we can put our screw back in that we just took out. And then this will go so does it got a smush? I think it's got a smush. It did not pay much attention. All right, how did that go down in there? We know the springy part goes, it went this way. So this part needs to go, there's a post. You see that post right there? This piece has to go over that post. Okay, so that is over that post. You gotta kind of turn this hose a little bit. Oh, I see. Let's try turning this out. This has got to, before you put this down, you got to line it up with that hole right there. And then get that lined up. So that goes over that, that goes over that. And you know what we forgot? This keeper thing. Okay, so if we put this back on, let's just put this on first. It goes down that. Just go like that. I know that keeper has to go on. Okay, so if we slide this piece back down here first. Like that. And then we can put this back on. So that went down in there. Something don't feel right about this though. There, like that. Am I gonna be able to lift this up enough to? Yeah, I can if I take that screw back out of the other side. So I will do that. We need that one with the washer. Oh shit. I may never see that piece again. That ain't cool. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna get my flashlight so I can see if I can see where that screw just fell down to. Let me pull this thing back out of here. Got it. Okay, so let's go back and put this piece back down in here. Uh-oh. Did I just lock that into position? I think I did. This is not as easy as it looks. How do I unlock that? Because now it's going to be in the way. Well, let's see if we can work around it. This has got to go all the way over here, and it's got to go onto that post, which is right there. If I can just keep that post pulled out, like so. Okay, so that's there, that's there. Is this down in the slot? I don't think so. Now it is. Okay, that's down in the slot. Problem is we got to get this piece. We got to get this piece back over this thing, which is causing a problem because I can't. Get that part. Maybe this will help get that out of there, because that goes back. Actually, this has all got to come back out anyway, because that is not located properly. That needs to go like that, because it's going to go down into there. This can go down into there. Get that post back out. Okay, so that's there. That can stay like that. And this has to go, carefully pry that into position. But the problem I got with that is, I think this needs to go there like that. That's down in there, but the problem I got is we've got to get this piece back on, which I don't know if it'll fit down in there. I'm puzzled here, guys. I gotta figure out how to unlock this because I need to open it back up again. And I remember when I was just messing with this thing, all I did was pull it back. There we go. Like that. Okay, so that's gotta come, this has gotta come back out. I wonder if I can get that state down in there. I think that's in the right spot. Now I can keep the screw from flying off. Okay, I think I got that. Let's put this screw back in. This one didn't have the washer. Don't you come off. Then we got the two screws for that, which are those two right there. So I've got 4 and then the one with the washer. So we had 4 here. Let's flip it over. And we had, where's that other one at? Was that the one that had the washer? Yep. I know it's going to be really hard to see. And let's see here. See that screw right there? Right pretty much in the center of the screen? It's got notches in it, or like, yeah, so to speak. The bottom of this washer is notched. How am I going to keep that from flying off? And you can't move this ball. So let's see if I can use a pair of needle nose to get down in there. Oh shit. Before I lose that piece, this is tricky. I wonder if I can drop this in. I really need my glasses. I can't see that. It's kind of dark down in there. Well, great, Greg. I just fell off my screw. Good thing I seen where it kind of went. There it is. Okay, you don't want to lose that sucker. Jeez. I need something. I think I got it in there. Dude, why would they make that like that? Well, I thought I had it in there. I know you can't really see where I'm sitting at. I don't know if this will show it. If I tip you down, I'm right here. Kind of get you in the way here because the tripod legs. Crap. And it's upside down. This is just like, what's that game of Operation? That is what it reminds me of. And I don't have anything narrow enough to just grab that lip. This part right here. Tell you what, I can try is, I got an idea. Grease. Let's put some grease on this thing. Maybe it'll help hold that washer in place. Yeah, it's not. Did I not get this pushed in all the way? I don't think the other side of that is pushed in enough for it to grab. Let's see here. No, it's not. Okay, that looks like it's pushed in all the way. Okay, raise the screw up. Why is it not screwing down? Am I not in the hole? Yeah, I heard that. What's it missing here? Well, crap. I don't think it's in the hole, the screw. Man, they need to make a, remember that show, that series, how it's made? They really need to come back out with that. Explain how they make these tiny ass little screws. All right, I gotta pull that out. It's hitting something, not hitting something. It's not screwing in. Oh, I got my finger underneath it. What are we missing here, guys? Well, that looks right. Should have got my flashlight while I was over there. I think it's just, I think this washer is preventing it from dropping into place. That washer doesn't look like it's keyed. It's just you gotta get, okay, that looks like it's seated down in there. Now it feels like it's screwing in. Good, got that. Yeah, you just got to make sure it gets dropped down to that slot. Okay, so now we got this piece here needs to go back onto here. Nope. Anyway, yeah, how it's made. They really need to bring that series back. That was actually a pretty cool show. Okay, I think we got all that. We got all that. Take these stupid reading glasses off before I lose my mind. And we had this piece here, which I don't think you can screw this one up. Ooh, doggy. It is warm in here without that fan. I do have that little ceiling fan going, but unless you're sitting right underneath it, I don't really feel it much. It does work, but and it's still working. Okay, so that is moving like it should. It's connected up here. So this thing has got arrows on it. Let me find him. Right here. And there's an arrow right here. So just kind of drop it in and turn it. And let's put our ball back on. Clicks when it's tight. We should be back together, guys. Hey, what's up? Okay, so I am down. So I gotta put this thing back on. This here went like so, and I remember there was a plastic piece. This thing here, I don't remember which way I had it. I don't think it's that way. Okay, that's on. What am I missing here? Something don't seem right. Oh, I just didn't have it on there right. Got my cord all tangled. Okay, so this thing just goes like that. We should be back together. Let me go get the rug. We'll bring it out here and let's see if, well, let's plug it in real quick. Oh, it's definitely got way much more suction. All right, let me round up a rug and I'll be back. Got you on my selfie stick, which actually turns into a tripod. Okay, what we got here? We got some cat hair, and we got some kitty litter, and we have some coffee beans, which are going to be kind of hard to see. They're on the floor. You know, the one thing I've noticed about this thing is it doesn't really have like a height adjustment for it. So I don't know how well it's going to pick up those coffee beans, but let's, this thing is loud. Let's turn it on. Okay. Well, it's picking up my rug. I'd say that's a win. Let's try the coffee beans. Oh yeah. It's clean under my desk. Sweet. We'll just vacuum the whole garage while we're at it. Okay. It's fixed. Now, you gotta push this button here to release the hose. The exhaust comes out of the top here. This turns your blades, your beater bar on and off. And yeah, I did Google when were these made, and it said they were introduced in 2018. So that's a few years old. But you know, the part was $18, took a little bit of time to fix. Definitely worth fixing. It's loud. Does a pretty good job of sucking stuff up. I'll have to check it on the floor in the living room, because this is the one that I use. This is a little cordless one. Pretty quiet. You know, it works good for most. Definitely works great on the tile and sucking up all the cat hair and the thinner rugs that I got. But the one thicker rug that I got in the living room, it doesn't like to work on that. So for 18 bucks, there you go. You know, now if something else was wrong with this thing, like say the motor or, you know, the beater bar was messed up, replacement cost on those parts, forget it, buy a new vacuum. These things were $400 to $500, brand spanking new. So I personally would never spend that kind of money on a vacuum cleaner. I just go to Walmart and get a Bissell or whatever. But for 18 bucks, you can't beat it with a stick. I'll put a link in the description to that belt, or not belt, but this hose right here. And that's all it was. I mean, you can see it's shot. So, yeah, a little kind of tight getting in there, especially that one tiny goofy little washer. But other than that, you know, and turning my fan off and sweating to death in here because it's 94 degrees. It works, seems to work fine. And there you have it. So thanks for hanging out with me and watching us fix the Dyson vacuum cleaner. So I'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.